Admiral Zekthon's four eyes tracked the holographic display with growing unease. The Confederation fleet spread across the void in perfect formation, elegant Altarian cruisers with their crystalline hulls catching starlight, the sleek torpedo boats of the Vex-High, darting between larger vessels like silver fish, and the massive dreadnoughts of his own Korthani people, their biomechanical armor pulsing with bioluminescent war patterns. It was a magnificent sight. 200 ships of the finest military engineering the galaxy had ever produced, facing down the Scourge Armada that had already consumed 17 star systems. "Sir." Communications Officer Veltar's voice carried that particular tremor that meant bad news. "We're receiving a transmission from the human fleet." Zekthon's mandibles clicked in annoyance. "Tell them again. We appreciate their offer of assistance, but this is a Confederation matter. Their unconventional tactics might interfere with our battle plans." The truth was more complicated. 3 months ago, the humans had joined a minor skirmish against raiders near the Orion Spur. What followed was less a battle and more a demonstration of barely controlled chaos. The humans had somehow managed to win, but their methods had left every military analyst in the Confederation filing reports that read more like fever dreams than tactical assessments. "Sir, they're not asking permission this time." Veltar's voice climbed an octave. "Long-range sensors show human battleships dropping out of hyperspace at the system's edge." The bridge fell silent except for the gentle hum of life support systems. Through the viewport, Zekthon could see the Scourge fleet, a writhing mass of dark ships that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, each one a testament to their creator's mastery of entropy and destruction. "How many human ships?" Zekthon asked, though he dreaded the answer.
12, sir.
Battleship class. A collective exhale rippled across the bridge. 12 ships against the Scourge Armada was either breathtaking courage or spectacular stupidity. With humans, it was often impossible to tell the difference. Lieutenant Commander HFY, the Altarian tactical officer, spoke up. "Admiral, perhaps we should coordinate with them. Their unorthodox approaches might—" "No." Zekthon's voice carried the weight of absolute command. "We've run simulations for months. Every variable accounted for, every contingency planned. The humans will only introduce chaos into precision." The Scourge fleet began its advance, a tide of darkness flowing across the star field. Their ships moved with predatory grace, energy weapons already beginning to charge with an ominous red glow. "Confederation fleet, this is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran battleship Indomitable." The human's voice crackled across the comm with that peculiar accent that never quite sat right in universal translators. "Recommend you pull back to secondary positions. We're coming in hot." "Negative, Admiral Chen," Zekthon replied. "Maintain your current position. We have the situation under control." A pause, then something that might have been laughter. "Admiral, with all due respect, you've been fighting the Scourge the same way for 2 years and losing ground every time. We've been fighting them for 3 weeks and we've got some new ideas." Before Zekthon could respond, his sensors officer gasped. "Sir, the human battleships, they're not following any recognizable battle formation?" On the tactical display, the 12 human ships scattered like seeds on solar wind. Some dove toward the system's asteroid belt. Others angled toward the gas giant's rings, and 3 simply launched themselves directly at the Scourge vanguard with their engines redlined. "For the love of all that's sacred," Zekthon muttered, watching his perfectly orchestrated battle plan crumble in real time. "What are they doing?" The answer came in the form of the Indomitable ramming straight through a Scourge destroyer, its reinforced prow crushing the enemy ship's center section before spinning away with minimal damage to itself. Simultaneously, the humans in the asteroid belt began hurling massive rocks with magnetic accelerators, turning space debris into kinetic weapons that no amount of energy shielding could deflect. "They're using the asteroids as ammunition," HFY breathed in something approaching awe. But it was the battleships near the gas giant that truly defied comprehension. They had somehow synchronized their orbit to slingshot through the planet's rings, picking up ice and debris that they then scattered behind them like a glittering curtain. When Scourge fighters tried to pursue, they found themselves flying blind through a maze of frozen shrapnel. The human near the star did something that made Zekthon's tactical computer emit a sound he'd never heard before, a confused electronic whine that suggested its programming couldn't process what it was witnessing. "Sir," his science officer reported in a hollow voice, "the human ship Ragnarok appears to be using solar flares as a weapon." Indeed, the battleship was dancing along the star's corona, its heat shields glowing white-hot, somehow timing its maneuvers to direct solar eruptions toward pursuing scourge vessels. It should have been impossible. It should have been suicide. Instead, it was devastatingly effective. The battle that followed challenged every assumption about space warfare that the Confederation had developed over centuries. Humans used debris fields as camouflage, turned their own damaged ships into guided missiles, and at one point somehow convinced a Scourge dreadnought to ram its own escort vessels by feeding it false sensor data. When Admiral Chen's voice crackled across the comm again, it carried a distinctly satisfied tone. Confederation fleet, Scourge advance elements are neutralized. You're clear to move in for cleanup operations. Zekthon stared at the tactical display, where the red dots representing Scourge ships were winking out one by one. His perfect battle formation hadn't fired a shot. Admiral Chen, he said slowly, how did you coordinate such complex maneuvers without any apparent command structure? Command structure? That sound that might have been laughter again. Admiral, we're humans. We don't coordinate. We improvise. Every captain out here is making it up as they go along. As the human battleships regrouped, or rather, wandered back into something resembling formation, Zekthon found himself reconsidering everything he thought he knew about warfare. Perhaps precision wasn't always superior to chaos. Perhaps the galaxy's greatest weapon against the darkness wasn't perfect planning, but the magnificent unpredictability of minds that refused to accept that anything was impossible. He keyed his comm to fleet-wide frequency. All ships, new standing orders. When humans offer assistance, we accept immediately. And someone get me Admiral Chen's tactical reports. All of them. In the distance, 12 human battleships continued their lazy patrol, already discussing over open channels how they might improve their asteroid bowling technique for next time.